Hello and welcome to XelaNews. I'm your host, XelaNator. For the first order of business, there's now a dedicated YouTube channel for my company, Triple Helix and a Half LLC. Where'd the name come from? Well, you guys voted for it. Anyway, you won't be seeing anything new about my upcoming game, the Living Threeangle, on this channel. The game is legally the IP of Triple Helix, but I'm licensed to publish marketing material, blah blah blah, insert legal terms here. The important part, though, is that the game is coming out this Thursday, November 20th, 2025. Yeah, I know the date of Thursday. Moving forward, it's time to share a little bit of what I've been doing these past few months. And for that, let's head on over to the brand new XelaNews green screen room. Okay, I say new even though I built it like last year and still haven't used it yet. Besides the point. For a few days from August to September, I took a trip up to Oregon. I visited the Evergreen Museum and saw some pretty cool air and spacecraft, including the Spruce Goose. There was also the Oregon Royal Heritage Center where I saw the 4449. I didn't even know that's where she rests until just a few days before then. I also managed to attend a picnic because the rail center provided train rides to and from. Although, it really was a union convention. Anyway, we also did a short drive up to Washington State. We passed by an airfield there and an old fort that I can't remember the name of. That one was a more relaxing adventure. Now we fast forward to early November, when I go on another trip, this time to visit the Carolinas. This one involved much more driving around, but we did check out some neat places. We visited the South Carolina Railroad Museum, where they have some neat equipment, including a few circus train cars used in the greatest show on Earth, and an old steamer, number 44. We also made it to the Sullenberger Aviation Museum. Their big display piece is Flight 1549, which made an emergency landing in the Hudson River back in 2009. They also have several other types of aircraft displayed, and even a tank there. But moving on, I attended CanCon, which is a fully silenced outdoor gun show. It was the first day in my life where I shot a live firearm, and will probably be the last day for the foreseeable future. The next day, we were on our way to visit the Aiken Visitor Center and Train Museum when we saw a couple of rebuilt GP30s just sitting on a quiet piece of track. Truth be told, I didn't know what models they were until I looked it up after. I thoroughly enjoyed getting up close and taking as many pictures as I wanted. Usually, in-service engine like these are either being used or are stored in the yard, so this was a cool find. Not far away was the visitor center, which housed a small museum and a model train set. The journey continues to the Red Cliff Plantation, which is finally not a museum dedicated to vehicles. Anyway, we were on a guided tour where we got to see the inside of the last still standing slave quarters they have there, and most of the mansion itself. We were also there at a good time in the afternoon because the low sun provided some marvelous views outside. And later that evening, I spent some time with my cousin. We passed by Georgia real quick for a bookstore and some food. That means I can now add 3 more states to the list I've been in. Then rounding off the trip was a visit to the South Carolina State Museum. Can you tell I like museums? Well, this one was rather extensive. They had exhibits for natural history, science and technology, and even a planetarium that I didn't get to go in. There's a little bit of everything spread across 4 very large floors. And now we travel to a different world, and go back in time, sorta. Earlier this year, I started a world in Beta 1.8. Originally, it was intended to see how far I could go, and prove that despite all its flaws, it was possible to have a long-term world. And there may or may not be a minor trace of spite in that for the people who absolutely adore 1.7.3, but that's not the important part. Eventually, I decided to give myself a long list of achievable goals. If I could complete everything on that list, then I can say the world is officially complete, and I can move on to Beta 1.9, where I then start another long list of goals. Most of what I have playing in the background, because I don't need sound to play Minecraft, has been Power Rangers. Currently, I'm on Dino Supercharge, but because I skipped SPD, that means I've only completed 21 out of the 30 seasons. However, the seasons have gradually gotten shorter over time, which means everything I have left are the shortest seasons, with the exception of SPD, because that chronologically takes place after every other televised series. No, Hyperforce doesn't count, because that wasn't televised. For the last big thing that's been taking my time is a game called Synduality. It's the only extraction looter I have ever played, and oh man, does it know how to drag out the game time required to complete it all. And I have to put complete in quotes because it's a live service game. Every so often, they release new request missions for you to complete. Normally, I'd be reluctant to play a game like this, but the developers have said they plan to convert the game to a single player playable experience when they end online support. So I'm hoping that all my 130 plus hours that I've spent so far won't be going to waste. And that concludes this segment as we return to the primary studio room. For positive news, I've decided that I'll release the latest UMP backup. No, it's not another 45 GB download. I don't plan on sharing all the nether chunks again for the time being. It's only a few gigabytes this time. This will just be the latest copy of the world in 1.17.1. Unfortunately, I can't update the whole archive from 1.7 to 1.17 because I don't have enough cloud storage for that. To get enough space, I'd need about $150 more to make that happen. But since I don't expect that to happen anytime soon, the public archive is going to remain incomplete. Now for what's next. Minecraft through the Android. Where is it? Well, between my out-of-state trips and the delays with getting my game out the door, I haven't been confident that I could commit to a consistent schedule again. On top of that, my living conditions are potentially going to change in December, as my sister and her fiance move back into the house. And if the Living Threeangle goes straight to the top of my failure pile that has been accumulating over the past 10 years, then there's a good chance I won't have any time for consistent streaming as the new year begins. And for the YouTube side of things, I wonder how long small fry creators will continue to be visible as I witness more and more AI written and voiced content appearing. My current prediction is that the platform will favor such videos because that means they don't have to pay any of the AIs. However, that will not stop me from trying. For as long as I can still stream and upload my own videos, then I'll continue to be a passenger on this ship. Thank you all for watching. Bye.